The NFL season is right around the corner, and there are a lot of teams this year who I think are going to make a big push and get over that hump. I think there's going to be a lot of teams in the top 10 that weren't last year. So these are my top 10 teams going into the 2024 season. At number one, I have the 49ers. I know they just lost in the Super Bowl, but this is the most well rounded team in the NFL. They have a top five offense, top five defense. The coaching is phenomenal. I have to put them at one. And two, I have the Chiefs. They just went back to back. They have Patrick Mahomes. You can't really put them outside of the top two. I'm not going to be mad if you put them in the top one, but you have to put the Chiefs at least one or the other. So I have the Chiefs at two. At three, I got the Eagles. I do think their low could be really low, but this team really did try to attack the pieces that they needed in the offseason, and I think they are going to have a really good season and improve a lot. I think that the Eagles are going to be a little underrated and have a phenomenal season. I put them at three. At four, I have the Buffalo Bills. I wanted to put them at three, but I think they have just a little more questions than the Eagles. The wide receiver question marks. I know they don't have a number one wide receiver, but I think there are a lot of guys on this roster that can make that step. The Buffalo Bills are underrated, in my opinion, for this year. They have a lot of weapons. I know Josh isn't familiar with them, but he's Josh Allen. He can elevate those people to be something. I think Dalton Kincaid's going to have a great year. I think this team is a little underrated. I'm putting them at four, sorry. At number five, I have the Texans. They made some great moves. They kept their squad around. C.J. Stroud had a phenomenal year last year. Tank Dell is back. They bring in Stephon Diggs. I have to put them at five. I think this team is absolutely phenomenal. At six, I have the Ravens. We know they're going to perform in the regular season. Lamar Jackson is an animal. They made some good moves. They have a great defense. I have to put them at six. At seven, I have the Lions. They, last year, really made their biggest push in a very long time. And they have all the right pieces to do that again. I think the offense and defense is phenomenal. I think they have a lot of upside. I'm going to put them at seven. At eight, I'm going to have the Bengals. They have Joe Burrow. I think people are underestimating them a little bit. I know they had a bad year last year, but there was injuries. And now they're all back. T. Higgins, I know there's question marks, but he will play. I think this team, we've seen them go to the Super Bowl before. Everybody's healthy. I'm putting the Bengals at eight. At nine, I have the Cowboys. I would love to put this team higher on my list. I really would. They are absolutely phenomenal, super talented. But the playoff success really matters to me. I think if you're not really pushing into the playoffs, you're going to the playoffs every year and you're losing, it's going to knock a few spots for me. So I'm putting Dallas at 9. And at 10, it was really hard. I had a lot of teams like Green Bay and the Falcons. I had a lot of teams switching back and forth here. But I put the Bears at number 10 because I think they have a tremendous upside. I know they have the squad to be higher, but they have lost for years and years and years, and this is their first year together. I just can't put them higher than they are, but I will put them in my top 10 because the personnel is absolutely insane. The defense has gotten really good, so I put the Bears at number 10. There are a lot of other teams I think you could swap out with 10. There are even other ones in the list, but those are my top 10 teams going into the 2024 season.